Hi, you're just finishing up week one, so a few weeks to go. Don't, I'm just touching base because here's that sort of end point. I don't want you to be worried about where you're at or where you're going. Don't let the course overwhelm you. There are lots of little pieces. That's research. This course, I've got you doing each little piece is a bit of a standalone piece, and it will feel overwhelming by the time you're into week three. Probably you'll be in a groove, and then all of a sudden it'll be over. So don't get stressed over what the course looks like. You've got what I want you to consider though in this as we move through here. You've got to a spot of what can you expect in the course. It's going to feel so. We've got the concepts, we've got method, we've got the textbook deals with the theoretical piece. I deal with the concepts in a more practical way. You do the lab every week. So follow that guide that you've done now this week already. Your first two labs are in. They're already going to be graded. If I haven't done them now, they'll be done very soon. But they're in what this course feels like is doing research. If you were doing major research, people doing graduate work, they stumble into the same problem that you have right now. There's all this work to be done. I don't know when I'm going to do it and how I'm going to get it done. And as well, the biggest failure for them is not actually thinking about their timeline. So there's that first assignment. And that's why I had you do it. The hypothesis you played with the first sense of, really important. Remember, hypothesis is not in every research project. That's the key. And as we roll forward, you're going to move into the next one. You're going to move into archives and sampling. You should be into it for the weekend. Don't leave it hanging. Get ahead of yourself. I'm thinking by the Friday, if you've got your weekends free, that's when you look at what you got to do for the next week for labs. Get them done early. So you got lots of time to think about it, discuss it, and you don't feel you're not suddenly pressed to a due date. So the other important thing I want you to think about is we've looked at variables now. You've seen the beginning of that, dependent variables, independent variables. I've talked about it. It's in the book. And that notion of causality. Causality is a big deal. We don't just prove that these things are related, correlated. We're showing one cause the other. That's really what it's about with a hypothesis. It's testing it to prove it, as opposed to, and there's where the null is important, looking at that null hypothesis. So I had you do that little lab, and then the lectures covered it as well. So the rest of the course will start to get into one at a time, more method, more method. So next week, we look at archive as a specific method, and then we look at sampling, which ties into method. And then the last piece is, I suggested how to read the book. And I hope that works for you. You have to decide if that's good enough or not. I hope that it will lighten the load a bit. And I will hopefully see you in a course down the road somewhere. Maybe we'll do an online thing, hopefully. Anyways, keep going. You're doing well.